suggest you all do is make some sounds with me. Whatever sounds you want. Because sound opens up your energy. Sound helps you vibrate, and it helps clear chaos, clear uncertainty, and let go sometimes of the thinking brain, which creates all that negative self-talk and on and on and on and on that many people have been falling into. So think of a sound, and if you can't, let's just all go with A. A. The sound of oneness, the sound of coming together, the sound of coming together inside you. How many here have been experiencing any kind of uncertainty or chaos? A couple of you, okay? Or maybe our whole community, huh? It's been going around a great deal. And how many of you are finding that what has happened is you begin to get anxious from it, or depressed, or your mind just does a negative chatter, on and on and on. Anyone here go through that? Okay. All right. Well, change is really a very, very important thing. And we may be struggling with it, but sometimes we have to go underneath what's happening to find out what it means for us and how to release it and how to transform it. So what I was thinking of is it's important to recognize that part of what's going on is a major universal change, okay? And it may appear negative for many people, and especially financially for many, but change has to happen for real transformation to occur. There is always a falling apart before we come together in a higher place of clarity, transformation. In shamanic terms, it's the shattering. Okay, there's always a shattering first. The shattering of the old defenses, the shattering of what isn't working, the shattering of what we used to believe that is false, that isn't true. And we are not just going through it individually, our whole planet's going through it. So what does this actually mean? I think as we're approaching 2012, that's a lot of what's going on. Is change and transformation has become a necessity. But most people are very uncomfortable with it because it shakes the ground. That's part of what happens. The grounding that we may be used to is no longer the same. And we may not know exactly what to do with it. Well, let me share with you just a couple of things. This is my book, Are You in Love with a Vampire? Healing the Relationship Drain Game. It's been out a while, and that took me through a process that taught me how messed up I could really be and what I needed to do to shift it, okay? And it wasn't fun. But it was worth it because it showed me some very different aspects about myself, and it taught me humility and humbleness. And have you realized that sometimes in your own life when you think you know a lot and then all of a sudden everything's shaken? Oh my Lord. My saying this past year has been, how can I be a master in some ways and I feel like I'm in preschool in other ways? Any of you familiar with that? Maybe it's just me, okay? And so that's part of it, but I also have created, whoops, time for that to drop to the floor, tapes on the relationship dance, how to dance through energies in your relationship and how to change it. I'm in the process of putting most of my work now on MP3s. So the Feminine Warrior is on an MP3 of how to balance your masculine and feminine. And why I do that at the beginning is I seem to forget later. I get too into whatever else is going on. My background is I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm a teacher, and a mom, and a grandmom, and I have a precious 5-year-old grandson who I adore, and he can get anything he wants from me almost. Hey, look, I worked hard to get to this place. I get to spoil him. At this point in life, I have over 30 years experience as a therapist, and years also as a teacher. And because of my background, I didn't find therapy went far enough. So at this point, I probably use like 40 different techniques because I found no one works all the time. And what I've really gained from a lot of the experiences of helping people is you have to go underneath whatever the issue is, whatever the problem, whatever they think it's about, or whatever I think it's about, and find a place inside that they can access their inner knowing and their inner wisdom. So that's a great deal of what I focus on in all my work, is how to balance the masculine and feminine energies and how to access your inner knowing. And so what tonight is about is really how to change, how to create the chaos, and how to take that to a place of clarity for you. I realized they hadn't changed the title, so I think they had it as success or something like that. But it is about success. How can you feel successful when there's so much change going on? So, because I work a lot with inner guidance, what I'd like us all to do, if you're willing, and what I want you to do when we do this, is to change the wording so you're comfortable with it. So if I say call in God or higher self, use the phrase that works for you. Coming from the place of having been an atheist, and then agnostic, and then being hit on the head with the light, the word God was not always comfortable for me. So please, it's important when you're asking for inner guidance that you use words you are comfortable with. So no matter what I suggest or anyone does, please make it your way, because your way is going to be best for you, okay? So I encourage everyone to change those words. So I call in God or my higher self, so repeat it. I call in God and my higher self and my guardian angel and the healing angels and guides from the light and my guardian angel. You say it, because it'll open a gateway for you inside. And the healing angels and guides from the light into all the branches and the deepest roots of whatever is important for me to gain in this lecture, process, workshop, okay? For my highest good and the highest good of all concerned. There's a reason I ask for it that way, and that's because no matter what we think we know, we often don't know what's for our highest good. And if we allow it that way, it comes in alignment of what's right, okay, without doing harm to anyone else, because in the way I've been trained, that's just not right, you know. And having been trained by medicine teachers, that's really a very big thing. And we're going to cover the 7 steps to change and a few other things along the way. So, some of the aspects of change, there are many different areas of life, okay? You have business and career and finances. You have your personal relationships, your love relationships, family. You also have recreation, physical health, mental health, emotional, friendships. Okay, so it's important to take a look at where you might be experiencing this kind of chaos or this kind of disturbance, okay? And not